say you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best wrestling podcast around, hosted by Brady and Danielle, the Heel Mob.
From Brooklyn to your living room, it's the best podcast to listen to. Morning, even afternoon, hear clever blind girl and a Jew talk about wrestling. They do it 24/7, cause they love to speak on it every week. That's why they are best friends, and they're back once again for some wrestling talk. So sit back, relax, it's time for Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends. We are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. Together we are the best friends in all the land. Together we are the Heel Marks. And this is another episode. There is plenty to talk about, as is always the case when it comes to the road to WrestleMania. We've got our final pit stop on the road to WrestleMania called the Elimination Chamber just around the corner. Danielle, are you excited?
Yeah, I like the Elimination Chamber. I love the top angle when it's like boop, 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 boop. And you're like, who's it going to stop on? I love that. I like the Elimination Chamber a lot. Boop, 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 boop.
I like the Elimination Chamber. I've always felt that maybe it would hit different if it wasn't the match before Mania. Granted,
Really?
Granted, I do like the fact that both chamber matches this year are strictly number one contender matches for the champions unclaimed at Royal Rumble. I do like that. But typically that's not always the case. A lot of times they have championships defended in Elimination Chamber. And going into Mania, it's one of those where you don't always, as a fan, want a title change. And also sometimes as a fan, you don't always believe, even if they are facing five people in a violent structure, that there will be a title change. So it's one of those... granted, this year is one of the first in a while where I'm very excited because of the format, because of the fact that these matches have high stakes, and all of the wrestlers involved in both matches have made this feel just as big as a Royal Rumble match, justifiably so. Because they're all competing for that championship opportunity at the show of shows.
I definitely like it this way because it's like, okay, you're trying so hard to win for Royal Rumble, and now the Elimination Chamber is another option. It's like, oh, I didn't get Royal Rumble, but now I can do this, and it's more intimate. And what I like about the Elimination Chamber is that you have to actually compete to get into the Elimination Chamber. It's not like the Rumble where you kind of just declare you're going into the Royal Rumble.
Right. I mean, granted, for the big names that would get qualifying matches, this is essentially an easier way to get that spot at WrestleMania than a Royal Rumble, where you have to hope you get a good spot. Then you have to, try to outlast other people. It's a lot of luck involved. Whereas with the Chamber, if you're a big enough name that you get a match that you just had to beat one person, you beat one person, and then boom. Now you're in a Chamber match where you have a chance of possibly getting like the sixth spot. Letting these people hurt themselves, get thrown off chambers, and you can kind of watch the madness, take notes.
Right. I guess. But I do like that you have to compete for it because it shows more effort, I feel. That you have to actually compete and beat someone in order to get to the chamber.
Right. Definitely. Unless, of course, your name is John Cena, in which case you kicked so much ass through your career that you tell Triple H, listen, you've only got 5 spots to fill, all right? I got that.
Right. But I also like that they justified that, and Triple H did be like, yeah, John doesn't have to qualify, he's in. I like because he paid his dues, he's allowed. It would be like Undertaker coming or anybody else like that coming back and being like, okay, I'm gonna do a spot. So I like that.
Also, it's one of those where the biggest opinion, and this will sound a bit cliche, but the biggest opinion in terms of who would that piss off is the fans. For example, if Logan Paul, let's say his schedule was just filled for this time, but they wanted him in Chambers, so they just made up some bullshit, where Adam Pearce is just kind of like Logan's just in. I feel like then you just hear a whole bunch of the fans wouldn't like that. With John Cena, the fans do want John Cena in this match. Fans want John Cena in the championship match at WrestleMania. Fans want John Cena to actually win his 17th championship. And at this point, fans are understanding that, listen, even though, yeah, we kind of thought that Cena retirement tour meant he was actually going to be back this year, we didn't realize he's got to film a movie now. But you know what? All right, bro, go ahead. Do it. Just come back for Chamber. Come back for Chamber. And then after Chamber, come back until Mania.
Man, that seems like the easy life.
Well, we don't know what kind of movie he's filming.
It's probably an action movie where he doesn't do his own stunts anymore.
But maybe it's a family comedy where he's playing, where he has to take care of kids because the parents are neglecting, and he's got to be the Mr. Nanny.
They're remaking Mr.
No,
Nanny.
they're not. Get the fuck out of here.
Cena. No, I'm completely making it up.
I love how you took the joke that I was just like dancing around and just flat threw it in my face and actually scared me with it to the point where like I actually believed you for that half a second.
Well, yeah, they're gonna remake it and they're gonna cast John Cena. How great would that be? That'd be a great Mr.
I mean,
Nanny.
didn't they remake it and cast Triple H and didn't they call it the Pacifier? And didn't they remake it again and cast Vin Diesel and call it what was it?
You're reversing.
You know oh wait, was the
Pacifier?
Okay, and then I'm completely forgetting the name of that Triple H movie that was. Like,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Triple H was in a movie where, like, either he was in charge of kids for like the day, he might have been like a bus driver. Triple H was in a family comedy that was like essentially very similar to The Pacifier, which is of course very similar to Mr. Nanny.
Is it called The Chaperone?
Yes. Yes.
A former bank robber skips out on one last job for the gang so he can accompany his daughter, Alex from Modern Family, on a field trip. Okay. Well,
yeah, I remember that.
And
I remember they had, well, no, he's a bad guy turned family man, obviously.
Yeah, but Vin Diesel's not. And neither
Vin
is...
Diesel's.
Yeah.
They were all bad men. Hulk Hogan was doing crazy shit in Mr. Nanny. He was like doing some bad stuff, fighting under, he had to kill a motherfucker or two.
Well, Vin Diesel's like a spy. So he's not a bad guy. He's like...
Okay, I didn't say these were like shot-for-shot remakes. I said they, you know what I'm saying? I said they were inspired by.
Can we watch The Chaperone? Let's do a watch-along and watch The Chaperone.
The Chaperone? You really want to do that to ourselves? Have we been...
How long
have we been that bad? I'm putting it at 90 minutes easy.
You think so? I'm gonna go. It's an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh wow! No, I'm giving it 90, a clean 90, but that's including the credits.
Close, an hour 43.
Jesus, that's too much. that's way too much for The Chaperone. I don't even think Big Mama's House was that long, and Big Mama's House is a classic.
I don't even know half of the people in this movie.
The Chaperone?
Oh, the girl who voices Patty Mayonnaise is in it.
I love the woman who voices Patty Mayonnaise.
Oh, wait.
She was in Orange is the New Black.
Nope, I'm wrong. Not her.
What? How do you get this wrong?
Because I meant to say Lisa Simpson, not Patty Mayonnaise. It's not that at least she's an animated person.
Yeah, but you've connected with me with Patty Mayonnaise. I can't even place the voice of Lisa Simpson.
She's in Weekend at Bernie's too. She's the boat captain person.
Well, no, it's too early in this show to be getting off the rails for Patty Mayonnaise, and now what Weekend at Bernie's? I can't do it.
Right. I digress.
Let's stop digressing. Let's talk. We've got Elimination Chamber predictions to get to. We will obviously do that towards the end of the show. But one thing we can talk about that has Elimination Chamber implications is the latest wants and needs of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the final boss, who in what felt like about 45 minutes, I know it was less, but it just felt like such a long segment. He was going on and on and on until finally arriving at, Cody, I want your soul.
Okay. So my thing with The Rock has always been like he goes way too long, like you said, which felt like 45 minutes. And I feel like with this new era of it being on Netflix, he feels like, especially when he tweets and stuff.
This was like, SmackDown.
SmackDown, sorry, not right.
So I believe I could be wrong. I'm almost positive that in like other countries they are actually getting it on Netflix. They're getting SmackDown, NXT,
Sorry.
and Raw. But yeah,
I apologize. I just meant this new era of cursing that I feel like anytime he feels like he can curse, he will, just to get a cheap pop from like 20-year-old boys who are adolescents and be like, he said shit. He called the shit poop. Like, you know, I just feel like it's a very cheap pop stuff. And it just, I don't know.
But that's always kind of been his, like, that's always been The Rock.
But like, we're almost 40 now. Like, stop. It doesn't, and you don't have to go 45 minutes because then you lose your flavor. Like I think his promo cutting now is dated and it doesn't come across as well as when it used to.
So on one hand, I question, like, we talk about how, you know, Rock is good at coming off of stuff on the fly because he used to do it back in the day in the Attitude Era. That was what they did. Just they flowed.
I mean,
but I feel like, and of course he's an actor, so you would think the improv skills are there. Of course, and they are. With that said, we can't forget when he had originally came back for the program with Cena and famously had points on his wrist. And I'm pretty sure he has not done that since. And so, like, basically, I'm saying that maybe he's not actually as good as he used to be in terms of, sure, he can improv, he can think on the fly, but if he's literally in a theatrical performance in front of thousands of people on live TV, on the spot, in the ring with one guy whose his only job right now is to essentially stare at you while you explain to him why he's here. He had a match. You canceled his match solely so he could be in the ring with you. And first you come out and you announce that WrestleMania will be in New Orleans next year, which, thank God.
About time. Always be in New Orleans.
And that is spoken as two people who don't live anywhere close to New Orleans.
Right. And we have to go to New Orleans every time it's in WrestleMania. We've been talking about this all the time. We talk about it all the time. We're like, can't wait.
We're like, if it was in New, because we after going WrestleMania, then we were just kind of like, I want to go to WrestleMania every year. And then we very quickly realized, oh, wait, no, New Orleans was so fun because it was New Orleans.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, I just want to go back to WrestleMania when it's in New Orleans, and it's coming back next year. So that's awesome. New Orleans is such a good spot for it.
100% we're going.
100% we will be there. And then this is where, like, I can't help but just laugh. You know, and it's like, I'm not even complaining. I'm confused, and I'm also trusting the process. But when The Rock thanks everyone and spreads his love and does the thing where he slaps his hand and shows me goose pimples that I really never see. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but when he slaps his wrist and shows the forearm, I never actually see the goosebumps. I don't know if it's just me.
Because he's a sweaty man. He doesn't get goosebumps.
Okay. I can see that.
The Rock gets pebbles.
But it's like, then he immediately just decides to start ripping on the crowd, talking about how they all have STDs. It's not he starts singing a song for no reason.
But you see what I mean?
When The Rock starts singing, I don't know why, but it's like always cringed me, just because it's like, and he has a good voice, but unless you're like presenting it as a rock concert, I don't really know why I'm listening to you sing right now.
Do you think The Rock has a good singing voice?
Oh, come on. Don't make me play the Moana soundtrack.
Yeah, what song does he sing?
And said to say you're welcome.
Yeah, but he's not singing, he's talking.
Yeah, listen, you always say that this person can't sing, they talk. You need a good talking voice to be able to sing some songs like that.
No, wrong. I mean,
you need to have a good voice. He's got a good voice to be able to do that.
Uh-huh.
What can I say except you're welcome?
He speaks the entire song.
I wish someone would pay me to speak an entire song. I would love to speak music. What can I say except I'm sorry? I didn't mean to step on your toe. Now that's a song somebody's got to make.
No, you should never apologize. Apologies are for them.
You step on someone's toe, you better apologize.
Nope.
You step on my toe without an apology, we fighting.
I say my bad. My bad.
Well, that's an apology.
No, it's not.
What?
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
so.
remember that the next time you say my bad, and I think you're apologizing.
Yep.
I'm gonna step on your toe is what I'm gonna do.
No, you're not.
How dare you?
Anyway, so The Rock, yeah, him going on and on, it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. It's like, yeah, it's The Rock, but it's
Well,
like,
no, but the weirdest thing as I was trying to get to is like the fact that he just immediately like just snaps his fingers, turns on the crowd.
yeah,
Then and
very weird.
so that's letting me know. Oh wait, the final boss is here. Oh okay, he's gonna do something with Cody. Then also while him and Cody are going back and forth, he's talking about how him and Cody are friends and shows a picture of their moms hanging out. So it's like, wait a minute, am I supposed to hate you? Are you guys friends? What's going on? Then in the middle of still going back to like insulting the crowd, he also snaps into it, and it's like I thought it was heelish, but I'm watching it over, and it really was him just kind of being, I don't want to use the wrong term, but him just having multiple personalities. Where he's like, oh, and by the way, people, Moana just got $1 billion. Thank you for that. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. And then we'll just snap his fingers and hate them again. And it's like, what is happening? And then on top of that, and this is kind of like the root of the issue where I think he thinks all of this is okay. He can just be Dwayne Johnson and then literally take a step to his right and be the final boss. On Twitter, he literally tweeted like, it's such a joy and pleasure to be able to play this final boss character. See you all Elimination Chamber. And it's like, bro, just play the character. Don't tweet us that you're playing the character. Don't bounce back and forth between thanking the crowd for giving your movie a giant boost to then telling them they all have STDs and they can stop singing with The Rock. It's just like, yeah, what? Like, play the character or don't.
Right. Also, that movie wasn't even nominated for Best Picture, so it should be quiet.
He didn't say thank you for getting me an Oscar nom. He said thank you for getting me that moolah.
Moana. Ha ha ha.
But yeah, this and it's like, in terms of the story that the company's running with since this segment, I don't hate it. It is very intriguing. It certainly does scream of last year's WrestleMania, where The Rock kind of decides, hey, by the way, I'm free. So let's make this happen, that happen, and like waits till after the Royal Rumble to do it. So now all of a sudden moving pieces are in play. And we're left kind of scratching our heads like, what's going on here? Roman Reigns' name's still not coming up for like WrestleMania matches.
Weird.
I don't know what's going on with that. I think I saw him do like a promotional thing. It might have been old with him and Paul Heyman, but like I'm hoping he's coming back for that. But it's just all these things are going on. And so now Rock wants to come in and play big bad boss to Cody, saying, I want your soul. Everyone, we're now reading into the lines because that's all he gave us. So now we're writing the story saying he wants a corporate champion. We want to do a spin on that. Seth Rollins on Raw has already kind of taken the first spot of Angel on the shoulder of Cody, saying, you better not. How dare you?
Don't do it. Yeah. Yeah. This is a very weird, I don't know. Also, the big thing that annoys me with The Rock coming into especially Cody is it diminishes Cody as a champion. He's supposed to be the top notch of the company because and that brand. So it just doesn't make sense to me why you have it makes Cody look like a chump.
I disagree on that front. I do.
It's okay to be wrong. It just doesn't make sense to me.
So I disagree because of the fact that Cody is the champion. He is the top guy. And it is because of that The Rock is seeking him out. The Rock's not going to anybody else. There's so many A-listers on the current roster right now as we get closer to WrestleMania.
Right.
He is going after the top prize, which is Cody. He's saying, listen, you are the top of this company, but I'm The Rock. I was atop this company 20 years ago. I was atop this company ever since, to the point where now I'm your boss. I'm atop of Hollywood. I run the world, and I want to give the world to you, Cody. You just have to give me your soul. So I do disagree with you on that front. Now, granted, where do we take it? Sure, Cody might look like a chump in terms of how this ends.
Right.
I see, I see the ways they could go where Cody doesn't come out of here looking so green, and your argument could certainly be made. However, just from this scenario, I don't think Cody loses anything from this. He's kind of like the he's the lady everybody wants the hand of.
What? I would have.
I
If I was The Rock, I would have went for Gunther. I feel like Gunther could be manipulated a little bit better.
Nobody's manipulating Gunther. Gunther would take the praise more. Gunther would kind of be like, "Of course you want me. I am the ring general."
But then I think Gunther would be like, "All right, I'll do it," and then Gunther would turn on him, and then he would be top dog, and then he'd beat up everybody else.
Gunther would be an intriguing option, only because you're right. Gunther would take the offer, but something about Gunther would let us know that Rock can't trust him any more than Gunther can trust Rock. Whereas Cody, you just kind of look at this poor little lamb.
Oh, Cody's a lamb.
Just getting led to slaughter.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
And it's almost I don't like about it.
It almost kind of feels like that's what's happening now, right? Because I don't think anyone actually, granted, I'd love to at least see for a little while what not even a heel Cody, but a conflicted Cody would look like. Rock also, and I think this is the biggest thing that I did not like about the segment, but Rock really gave us no details. We don't know what the fuck any of it means. I want you to be my champion. What does that mean? I want your soul. What does that mean? We're all reading between the lines. As wrestling fans, we're all writing what we think that means, blah, 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 where they're going to go. But we don't know what the fuck The Rock wants, really.
Right. This was kind of like what happened last year. Last year, we thought it was going to be this thing where it's going to be The Rock versus just Roman, like Solo. And then we're like, can they really go anymore? Not Solo Sikoa, Solo as in just one-on-one. So I feel like they did that a little bit last year, where this time around it's even more vague because they probably don't know what they're doing. And they're just like, okay.
And I hated hearing The Rock bring that up during the segment, by the way. Actually talking about it. Especially because, like, the way he brought it up was awkward. The way he put it was awkward. And and I'm like wondering, are you just giving this to us? Like, are you giving us shoot information? Are you throwing a little bit out? Are you trying to rewrite history? All of it, I don't want. Like, stop talking about that. That whole thing was ridiculous. You talking about your side of it doesn't make you sound any better. The fact that you just woke up, decided, you know what, biggest match in history, me versus my cousin for the championship, that should happen. Oh, wait, you won the Royal Rumble and you don't want to just give me your match? You know, like that, like, no, bro. Like, stop reminding us of it, and 100%. Certainly don't compare it to whatever the fuck is happening now.
Correct. Agreed.
So, yeah, it's certainly interesting what's happening. But a lot of intrigue is added to Cody, and whatever decision he will or won't make, it seems like that's going to happen in Elimination Chamber. Rock and Cody will be there, so we'll probably get some news on that front. Talking about The Rock will take us to The Rock's family, Bloodline 2.0. They're okay, aren't they? Who knows? Jacob Fatu and Solo, that relationship is changing every single week.
I love Jacob Fatu. I love him so much.
I love them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Tama Tonga doesn't get talked about enough because he's kind of just
crazy
with Jacob at this point. But, like, no, and like with because now we're getting the Jacob and Solo, so Tama's not getting the mic as much, even in those pre-entrance promos. Like, we're not hearing yeah as much as like the crowd goes crazy for him, and for that right now the emphasis is on these two.
Right.
And then once that gets clearer, maybe Tama Tonga will step into the forefront as his allegiance gets questioned on either end. Solo is the one who brought him in first. Let's not forget MFT. So there's certain a question mark could be had. Maybe Tama Tonga's loyalty does lie with Solo. I wouldn't want to see that. I think Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu are just two bad
Magic.
boys that just like they're
Magic.
so good.
They're magic. It's so great to watch them both. I'm so glad that they came in so strong and they've been doing such great things with them. And I'm just so happy about that because when people come from other companies, you get a little bit nervous sometimes. Like you feel like sometimes they shoot them to the top, but they don't do it in the correct way where like the fans can turn. I think they did it. They sprinkled us with Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu perfectly.
Granted, these days it's easier to trust what creative's going to have built for a new superstar if they are a member of the bloodline and are coming in with that story kind of already in place. But you're 100% right. They could have easily gone either way. And also Jacob Fatu's just hit so beautifully with the crowd. The crowd has turned him babyface. I do not know that the plan was to kind of begin the cracks forming to this trio or this group rather, because we should have Tonga Loa hopefully coming back soon. But yeah, like I don't know that the split was supposed to happen this quickly, but Fatu cannot be a heel any longer. You just have to ride that train. The fans want to cheer for this man.
Do you think if you're a spouse of the bloodline and you become a wrestler, they let you do the bloodline? Or do they say like your bloodline a Jace as Mario?
Why do you act like that's not a thing? I mean, Naomi doesn't really like she's bloodline behind the scenes, but she's not bloodline in front of the camera.
Yeah, but I meant if people came in. Yeah, but I feel like she was already established wrestler before her and Jay got married. Jimmy, that's what I said. John.
I don't know if Jay's wife like wants to become a wrestler. Are you saying would she come in and be?
Yeah, she'd be Yida.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, though, that's some solid dad humor. You should just tweet that to like one of those artists that like combine like things. Like we'll draw The Rock as a rock. Like, hey, what if Lita was a Jey Uso fan? And then just have them like draw Lita as Yida.
I love everything about that. Yes.
I mean, her hand symbols, like you could just do it like that. Like it transitions to a Yeet.
Yeah.
Motion fairly easily.
Yeah, Yida. That's gonna be her new name. She's gonna come back. He's gonna make her
Jey
an
Uso
honorary.
could team with Lita.
He's gonna make her an honorary USA, and then she's gonna be Yita. All right, I'm done. That's all I got, folks.
The Jacob Fatu Solo Sikoa, like the biggest question mark is, and this is what I do love about the road to WrestleMania. Everything we get from someone makes me think, oh, so that's what we're getting at Mania.
Right.
Like it all makes me like, so right now I'm kind of assuming, oh, they would give us Solo versus Jacob at Mania. Granted, I don't feel like the maths on that, only because there's so many people that need Mania matches. These guys are definitely a part of that, but would they get one of the few one-on-one matches that WrestleMania usually has? I mean, if we're looking at 2 nights of only 5, maybe 6 match tops, I don't know how many one-on-ones we're getting. Especially since we already know how many. We already know we're getting quite a few in terms of championship matches. So it's like, I could see maybe these guys still sticking together until Mania. Maybe getting themselves a triple threat. Or not a triple threat, I'm sorry, a 6-person tag team match against another group at Mania. But like, the cracks would take us into that to the point where we're waiting. Maybe even Jacob snaps on Solo at Mania.
Maybe. That'd be fun.
I mean, everybody wants to hear him say, I hate you, Solo. Everyone wants to hear him say that.
I love that that's where you went, because immediately I was like, oh, I don't love you. And I'm like, oh yeah, hate seems to be the correct word.
Honestly, watch him do that. Watch him do what you said and not go hate. Because the truth is, Solo...
Like, perfect.
Well, because now Solo is I love the way we're going with it, where now Solo is the one saying it over, but it's not the way Jacob said it. Jacob said it with he said it with his chest. He said it from his heart. He truly meant it every time when he put his hands together and said, I love you, Solo. He meant that shit. He would wake up in the morning and thank God for the ability to love Solo. Right. But when Solo said it, There was manipulation in his voice, manipulation in his eyes. It did not come from a genuine place. And Jacob has not said it back. So there's a very good chance that we'll just constantly hear Solo be saying it. I love you, Jacob. I love you, Jacob. I love you, Jacob. I don't love you, Solo. Crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, see? It'd be perfect. There should be an illustration like you said, and it should be Solo looking in the mirror saying, I love you, Solo. I love you, Solo. I love you, Solo.
It would be Solo saying it to
him
himself.
saying it to himself in the mirror. And then when he's mad, he's like, I hate you, Solo. He's just self-loathing. It's like butt all over again.
Right, exactly. Speaking of the magic that is the road to WrestleMania, where every conversation, every segment, every bit makes me think of a WrestleMania match possibly oncoming. Could we have seen a WrestleMania matchup pop up before our eyes? Could CM Punk and Logan Paul be facing each other at Mania?
I never thought I would say this in a million years. Poor CM Punk. Like, this man is never gonna main event WrestleMania. When he finally main events, he's gonna like face Hulk Hogan, and it's gonna be like a 2-minute match of Hulk Hogan like trying to rip off his shirt. Like, this poor guy. I'm like, is this man ever gonna main event WrestleMania?
You know what's funny? I truly think, and granted, a part of me still thinks there's a chance that he will, but
Yeah.
I also kind of think that, you remember that little throwaway line he said to MJF on AEW where he was like, go ahead to the other side, see how green it is when you're main eventing night 4 of WrestleMania or whatever, I'll still be here. Like night 4 of like a buy one get 4 free extravaganza, whatever, however he put it.
1 year later.
I truly think, like, in his mind, the fact that it's a 2-night thing just makes the main eventing not mean as much.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
like
think
a moot point. It's like,
he's accepted that time has changed, time moved on.
Yeah,
it didn't happen, whatever. And now we're at the point where, like, back when he said it, it was kind of the same guys main eventing, and then when you got a surprise name, it was like when like The Miz did it, and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Or when like The Rock comes back and he gets it a year in advance, and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
right.
But like for the most part, it was the main eventers getting that same spot: a Triple H, a Batista, an Orton, a Cena. And so now, when that list is also including the Usos, and it's also including at least 4 members of the women's roster. And so now a fucking Ronda Rousey main event at a WrestleMania. So, you know what I mean? I feel like at this point, CM Punk doesn't really care as much, because I think the title of WrestleMania main eventer doesn't mean as much. I mean, hell, Kevin Owens gets credit for main eventing WrestleMania, not just the tag team match with Sami Zayn. Technically, he main evented because him and Stone Cold closed the show.
That did close the show, right?
It closed the show. Granted, for me, main eventing WrestleMania always kind of means like, and yes, the show closer 100% counts, but if it wasn't on the marquee, like if it wasn't promoted, and granted, there were rumors, we all kind of thought Kevin Owens had essentially been talking trash about Stone Cold to the point where we're like, yo, is this really going to happen?
Right.
But it was never actually announced. So does that count as the main event if people are not necessarily being put in a position where they can buy their ticket to see that match?
Does the main event have to be last is the question. Let's look up the definition of main event.
I mean, WWE says they have like 4, like, you know, they'll give you like co-main events. So according to that definition, no, it doesn't. But I think everybody knows that, yes, the main event is the last match to go on.
This says example of main events in boxing match. The main event is a fight between the most prominent boxers.
Well, are you asking AI right now? Because that's how the main events are judged.
No.
Like, that's how they're put together or whatever, but.
No. Okay.
And also, I mean, the good thing about the CM Punk Logan Paul segment was like, we're going ahead and saying, yo, this could be a WrestleMania match. But at the same time, they're both in the chamber. And this is just one of those good pairings for a promo segment where you're like, okay, these guys can make something happen.
Right.
Everyone's gonna want to see CM Punk punch Logan Paul in his mouth. But
Oh,
what if we end this with Logan Paul slapping the taste out of Punk's?
right.
What if Logan Paul is unfazed by everything CM Punk says? Big bad Punk and his pipe bombs. Let's have Logan Paul laugh through all of it.
I hope they smack each other and they both laugh while smacking each other, and then they just go really stiff skis and just hit each other really hard. That's my goal. That's the dream match for me. I want stiff skis. Just go hard. Like, just do it. I think it would be fun, and they'd appreciate it. They'd both take it.
One thing we do have to give Logan Paul credit for, because the second I mentioned this, you like kind of went straight for it, like, will CM Punk ever main event? So like almost like CM Punk versus Logan Paul is a fact. And I credit Logan Paul for that, because how the fuck could we imagine this being the case like a year or two ago when Logan Paul was announced that he was like going to start wrestling to the point where we could even fathom like, oh, CM Punk's going to face Logan Paul? Yeah, that makes sense.
If
like there's zero objection.
Oh yeah, zero objection. If CM Punk was champ right now and Logan Paul won the Elimination Chamber and they main evented, I wouldn't be mad. Like,
I'd probably be a little mad.
All right, a little fair.
I get it. I get it.
you know what I mean? I'm not counting on the other storylines and other wrestlers in play. I'm talking about just these two guys.
Right.
Not a bad title match. Like, you know what I mean? It's
a good one.
It's not a bad match because it's CM Punk, who is very strict in his craft and loves to criticize, and especially with his I'm young, I'm old, I'm tired, and I wrestle children.
I work with children.
This is the best case of working with a child, like, for him, you know.
Yeah.
And they're both unlikable in real life. Like, so I mean, Logan Paul a little bit more so. Obviously, there are things we like about CM Punk, as him being a feminist that I love. But you know what I mean? Like, this is definitely
speaking of, real quick pause. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I love that he wore the Chicago Teachers Union T-shirt and then made sure to like stop on the apron and do a pose for the hard cam with his back perfectly showcased. Like, I love when he it's so funny. He could easily just wear Punk T-shirts every fucking time and just try to make that money, but he's very good at wearing T-shirts that mean something to somebody out there.
CM Punk is Wendy Peppercorn.
Come again for Big Fudge?
He's Wendy Peppercorn
because he knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what it is, and that's why. That's one thing.
Speaking of someone who knows what he's doing, I cannot believe it, but this is gonna get over, guys. Mello don't Miz. It's happening. It's happening. It's already happened.
I'm for it.
It's one of those things where we wish they had something better for Carmelo, that he was farther along, considering he was a first-round draft pick for SmackDown. Also, I kind of wish they had something better for The Miz, but Miz is a chameleon. Miz always just blends in. He can always adapt. He figures out how to make himself relevant going into a certain time frame of the year. If he needs to team with somebody, he's going to make it work, both in the ring and out of the ring. The Mello don't Miz stuff and their little back and forth banter, this is good for both of them. This is helping Carmelo in many ways. And then in the ring, Miz is like a tag team specialist. He's so good at doing new combo moves with no matter who he gets as a partner. He's had so many over the years. And I love the fact that they finished the match with a little skull crushing finale first 48 combo. I love combo finishers like that.
I like combo finishers too. Yeah, I like this. I mean, we were talking about this before with Carmelo, where we felt bad, like first eliminated in the Royal Rumble and like all this stuff. And like you said, first drafted, he was first pick actually, and it's just so sad that, I mean, I'm for this. If it's going to get him on TV and get stuff that people can get behind and get him more noticeable in a more positive way, I'm for it. And like, I know you love Miz, so this is perfect for you.
Right. And this is one of those ways for Miz to constantly remind everyone of the veteran presence he has.
Yes.
Of how he's always able to kind of, as I said, blend into a situation. Whatever WWE needs him to be, boom. he becomes, and he just does it to the best of his abilities. And this is a great thing for Carmelo. We were talking about how this is going into WrestleMania. How are certain people getting onto the WrestleMania card? Truth is, Carmelo doesn't have a spot going into WrestleMania.
Right.
This, however, suddenly being a part of a tag team that, while being a heel tag team, is already getting over with fans kind of in a face-ish way where they're being entertained by the team. They don't hate them as much.
Correct.
Yes, Carmelo's a smartass and Miz has a punchable face. But at the same time, these guys are making us laugh again. And even the things, obviously, they were working with Truth, but like,
I was just gonna say, shout out to Truth, man.
of course, Truth knocks Melo down and starts counting a pinfall, and Melo actually kicking out. Truth going over to the Miz and forgetting who his partner is and trying to tag him in, thinking they're back together. Like, it's beautiful, and but it's one of those. Yeah, 100%. Truth's just, I mean,
he just does whatever he's supposed to do. Yeah, he's like, oh, you need me to do this? Perfect, I'll do it.
But like, the truth is, while the tag team division might be a little crowded right now with DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits coming after the titles, truth is, Melo and Miz could easily
100%.
find themselves in that tag division and shining like a diamond on their way to being tag champions, simply for the entertainment mixed with respect factor that the fans have for both men.
It could
also, this is something that could set Carmelo up for a face turn, because Miz is kind of so easy to hate, where even as they're getting entertained, Miz can always be the Miz we know and love to hate, and Melo eventually gets tired of hearing it, and boom, kicks him in his mouth, face.
Right. They can even do a multi-tag team match at WrestleMania, and they could be easily in it as well. I know the Street Profits are coming for DIY, but you could make it you can make it a 4-tag. I don't really. I mean,
there's also Pretty Deadly in the thick of things. So I do think, and then Theory and Grayson Waller, who knows what they're doing. So there's a good chance that we get like 6 teams possibly competing. Maybe we saw last year it was a ladder match with both titles held up there. Maybe they want to make that a yearly thing. You never know.
I really like Pretty Deadly. They're just something about them. There's just something about them that I'm drawn to them. I can't help it. I really like
Yes, boy.
Yes, boy. It's probably because they remind me of Fashion Police.
Yeah, I can see that.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I told you they walk so Fashion Police so they can run.
100%. We do have to talk about something that I think is silly.
No, we don't.
We do, just a little bit. So we got Lyra Valkyria defending her Intercontinental Championship against Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai lost, of course.
Of course.
Ivy Nile then comes in, attacks Dakota Kai, and attacks Lyra Valkyria, announcing that once again she is not stopped coming for that championship, hinting that Ivy Nile may be facing Lyra for the title at WrestleMania, but certainly facing her for it soon. Now, here's the thing. Ivy Nile, and I've applauded her for this, Ivy Nile's been like the one constant in the chase for the Intercontinental Championship.
Right.
She's been talking about it more than the champ herself. She's been the only person that's dedicated every minute of her time on the Raw roster ever since that title was created to wanting to claim it. If this is the matchup that you're building us to, why did Ivy lose to Dakota for this match? Why did Dakota, who already put Lyra over clean to proclaim our first champion, why did she have to win a match to earn the right to lose clean again? There's nobody else on the roster you could have given this spot to? I don't get it.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I would have been better off if they would have had Maxine face Ivy. Maxine gets a surprise win over Ivy. They can kaput that feud that kind of never really got a finish to it. Kaput that feud. Maxine gets the surprise win. Maxine faces Lyra. And then it'd be one of those where, you know, can Maxine pull it off? Pull it off? Obviously not. Lyra could still get a strong match out of her, strong win out of her. Then Ivy comes.
Yeah, why is it Dakota Kai?
Dakota Kai did not need to be here. And I don't think it does anything to help her.
I was going to say, and that's not in a bad way because we love Dakota Kai. It's just it doesn't make sense.
Right. There was just no reason for her to be put. Like, the only reason for her to have this match was if they were somehow decided that they lost faith in Lyra and we're just going to do a switcheroo and get the title on Dakota. But since they didn't, it's like, how is Dakota the only person here to do this job? It makes no sense.
I love being salty, but I hate being salty for this reason. I don't get the Lyra. I don't get why she's Intercontinental Champ. I don't get it.
I mean, I get it. She is good, and they really want to commit to it.
I guess. I don't know. I just don't think she's as good as like they're making her out to be. I feel like when I look at her, I see a green wrestler. Not that she's bad, because I remember there was a match that she did recently. I forgot who it was with, and I was like, "Oh, she's gotten so much better." It might have been for the Intercontinental.
No, it was throughout the entire tournament. She was great in all of her matches. I just don't think she has a connection with the audience yet, and I don't think she's really been allowed to create one. Like, we don't really know too much about who she is or why the fans should love her. The commentary team constantly talks about, the high flyer, exciting style. Sure, but that's not exactly unique to her anymore, So it's one of those things where I personally think the fans connect more to Dakota than they do Lyra, especially since we've seen Dakota for years not really get the accolades she deserves, not always get the respect or the shine she deserves. Dakota's one of those where, honestly, when WWE starts doing releases, you kind of just pray you don't see her name pop up, because you never really feel the love from the creative team when it comes to booking her on a consistent basis. A little bit during the Damage Control days, like she was starting to emerge as kind of like the real villainous heel when Bayley was getting ousted. But then as the Damage Control kind of silently turned babyface again, that kind of went away too.
Yeah, I just, oh.
But from something I don't get to something I absolutely love, we got the TNA X Division Championship defended on NXT. Moose, the champion, showing up and showing out against Lexis King. Loved this match. Loved everything about it.
I love Moose. I love him. I'm a big Moose fan. I remember I was like, I can't wait for Moose to show up, and you sent me the thing, and you're like, it's happening. I'm like, it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I love that. I remember Moose when he was facing Kenny Omega for the Impact Championship and stuff.
I remember
he would pull out big moves from the top rope. I think he pulled off a moonsault and battery, the crossbody possibly for the first time, the jump off. And I remember everyone was so surprised, and he's like, you guys think just because I don't show you what's in my bag, it's not there. I know when to pull stuff out. And for the most part, we haven't seen a lot of like that style since. He does, in fact, pick and choose the big matches. And it's not just the big matches for TNA, it's the big matches for his career. And so when he gets an opportunity to pop up on NXT and defend his championship, he's like, yeah, I'm going to give you guys a little taste. You NXT viewers that have no idea who I am and why you've been missing out. Yeah, let me show you a little bit what's in the bag.
Right. I'm just so happy this is here. And I think Moose is one of those versatile wrestlers that you look at him and you don't think he'll have you'll think he'll only have like 3 movesets because he's such a big guy that he doesn't need a lot of moveset. But this man always surprises you with all these different types of styles of wrestling. Over the years, he's always impressed me no matter what he does.
Well, also, I think it's easy for people to want to put him in a box because he is a former football player. He is somebody who had success in another sport and comes over, and people assume, oh, he's going to do it because this person did it. He's going to do it because that person did it. All he has to do is hit people, hit a spear, whatever. And it's like, no, Moose became a complete professional wrestler years ago, and he truly has redone his whole body of work.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And everything about him gets a tune-up every couple months. He's constantly getting better. And we haven't seen anything yet. Like, that's the cool part. The fact that now WWE's taking a look. And now TNA superstars are in a position where they can get fed into the WWE developmental system and get tastes like this.
Yeah.
The NXT TNA relationship is just constantly getting more and more fun for us, the audience, including, of course, an NXT return. Or I guess a WWE return, an NXT appearance for the Hardy Boys. And for somebody who I honestly think needs to go into the Hall of Fame sooner than later in the Coco Beware section. Mr. Santino Marella comes back.
In the Coco Beware section.
You know the Coco Beware rule.
I'm very aware of the Coco Beware rule. That's why I'm just laughing that you said the Coco Beware section. If they ever made a WWE like Hall of Fame building, they would have to have a Coco Beware section.
Coco Beware.
Coco Beware wing. It would be the Coco Beware wing.
Yes. Oh my God, the Coco Beware wings.
Yeah, the Coco Beware wings. So freaking funny. Oh, but Santino Marella definitely. He's such a goofy guy. I love him.
It was so good to hear that music again. So good to see him come out and get a nice pop and a nice welcome back reception from the NXT crowd. And you could tell it hit him in the soft spot. You could tell he got just a little bit emotional on the ramp, listening to the crowd react. And that's the stuff you love to hear, love to see.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to this.
But this was a fun appearance. Yeah, Hardy Boys are going to face Fraxium at Roadblock. So that's interesting. The interesting thing about this is that I don't believe, and I've watched it a couple times, but I believe from the announcement, the NXT Tag Team Championships do not seem to be on the line. It seems the Hardys are defending their TNA Tag Team Championships against Fraxium at NXT Roadblock. So that part is a bit interesting to me, a bit of a head scratcher.
I think it's the way of Fraxium to say that they are the ultimate champs, and by doing it against the Hardy Boys, I think it's to benefit them and not the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, well, no, of course. It's just interesting that the TNA titles are being defended on NXT pay-per-view, not the other way around. But also it's interesting because going into that almost makes me assume the Hardy Boys would win for a few reasons. But also that makes me think that I'm wrong and that I'm just falling into the trap. And really, Fraxium is actually going to become TNA Tag Team Champions and hold dual belts. Right. That'd be crazy, right?
That'd be wild.
Yeah. I mean, NXT gets unpredictable now with the TNA element thrown in there. It's like TNA waters are just surrounding the NXT castle. And you never know who's coming out.
Right.
We got Ricky Saints making his debut. Very fun match, teaming with Javon Evans, taking on Wesley and Ethan Page. All ego Ethan Page.
I love Ethan Page. I don't know if you know that or not.
Somebody told me about it, but I didn't really believe it. I was like, listen, if Danielle loved Ethan Page, I'd be the first to know. You're wrong.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, nobody knows I love him so much.
What'd you think of Ricky Saints' first NXT entrance?
I love the entrance. I love how the fans were behind him and the chants that they were doing during the show. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not keen about Saints, but I know he had to change it, so I'm okay with it, but I'm not a huge fan of it.
I don't hate it. Also, I always try to be less critical when we are aware that even if the wrestler didn't necessarily want to change their name, they are the one who picked the new name. Correct. So, like, I always try to be less critical. Like, how often do people get to name themselves? Who the fuck am I to say you picked a bad name for yourself?
Right.
You know? Granted, I definitely do that when perusing through most of the new rappers these days. I see those names and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Big Pun. That was a name. 50 Cent. Boom. Everyone has 50 Cent in their pockets. What a name.
Or you could just use the Wu-Tang generator and get Childish Gambino.
But just like that. Exactly. Brilliance.
One of my favorites. That's one of my favorite, like, how he got his name. It's one of my all-time favorites. You see Wu-Tang's going, do you see they're going on tour again?
Yeah, they're coming to Madison Square Garden.
We're going to go.
Are you coming back for it? Because you're not going to be here when they're here.
Yes, probably.
You better. I'm holding you to it.
I mean, yeah. Hey, I was sick during Wu-Tang last time and was throwing up 90% of the time.
Listen, you were a trooper. You were a trooper. That was an amazing job by you. You were doing more work than they were on stage.
Oh, my God. I just remember Nas and Uchiwali came on and I was in the middle of washing my hands.
Ran out of nowhere. That was awesome.
I was like, I can't miss this song.
I love that Ricky Saints is being treated as a main player. in NXT, and given the talent out there with Obafemi as champion, with Trick Willie, with Ethan Page, with an emerging Javon Evans, with Moose and the X Division Championship walking around freely, it really does the fact that Ricky Saints is being treated like this, and he gets a big star entrance, and he gets to talk, and he gets to finish it with the Rochambeau, which and he may change his name, but the Rochambeau name seems here to stay. So that's always fun. So I it's refreshing. One thing that I couldn't stop laughing at was the chant from the NXT universe. Tony fumbled.
Tony fumbled. No cursing involved, just Tony fumbled, and it's true. Tony fumbled.
There was another chant that was great. It was like a fan shared it as Booker T was making his way out of the ring. His music's playing and they're chanting, "Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, Hulk Hogan. We coming for you, Hulk." And Booker T's laughing at it. I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's a fun one.
I love it.
Such a good chant. Please, fans, don't stop chanting that one. We are, I believe, ready to get into Elimination Chamber predictions. But before, let's talk about the biggest thing that happened on our way to Elimination Chamber. I'm talking, of course, about the Raw main event, which was a banger of all bangers. What a match. 5 stars if you ask this guy, even though I don't really believe in stars.
What do you mean?
I believe in starfish.
You believe in starfish? What about chocolate starfish?
I don't believe in chocolate starfish. I love chocolate starfish.
Terrifying.
Wait, what's chocolate starfish? I feel like I agree to something that I don't know.
You 100% did.
Is a chocolate starfish a butthole?
100%.
God damn it, Danielle. I'm asking for just a little bit of professionalism.
This conversation reminded me of role models when he's like, "Tell her you miss her whispering eye. Tell her you miss her." He's like,
"It's vagina. It's vagina." Oh Lord, can't get into a main event without a butthole just being brought up all willy-nilly. What do you know? Well. This match was in fact
chocolate. Can you make that the name of the chat?
Absolutely not.
I love chocolate starfish. I was like,
for some reason, I thought it was like a dessert. You know, like. I
mean, to some people, it is.
Okay, you know what, Danielle? You're on timeout. But no, we have new women's tag team champions. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Bianca Belair and Naomi in a fire match. Honestly, one of possibly the best Raw main event we've gotten this year, and we started it with CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in an all-timer. So, but this match was just still up there.
Such a good match. Liv to me has come such a long way from like so far. Like when she first came out and she was kind of okay, but her gimmick was getting over and people loved her and she's just getting better and better in the ring. And she just leans into it and just goes with it, you know?
It was her. It was the woman behind the character that the fans connected to. And it was a part of it, just her likable personality and the fact that they could relate to somebody just giving it their all to try and get into a business they love and grew up on. The fact that she did backyard wrestling, you know, in her backyard as a kid. Like, we connect with that as a fan. And then, and I've been saying this forever, but I love what Natalya and TJ do for this industry. Like, if I had my way, me and you would dedicate at least 10 minutes to them every single episode.
100%.
And Liv Morgan was one of the first that I just remember being aware of, always seeing pop up in Natty and TJ's pictures, always 100%. Being there. When we saw Brody's son, you know, little Brody popping up, Liv was one of the first people we saw working with him in wrestling. Yep. And it's because she's always dedicated to improve. And now we're seeing the B-Fabs, and now we're seeing, you know, everyone from other companies popping up there and always improving. But it's what we watched Liv do. To me, where like now I always associate that mindset with the new people I see popping up in the dungeon. Oh, you're coming in every day to improve yourself because you know how you got to get better at this. You have to get better at that. You know what it takes to get there. It's just hard work. And we watched Liv, like 2024 was her year.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, Unfortunately, obviously, Rhea ended up getting hurt, but what a way to do it. They just continued the storyline with Liv.
Yeah.
Liv got to become champion. Liv excelled at the story of her and Dom Dom and like all this, everything.
And those were big shoes to fill, having to,
Yes.
like, the fact, let's not forget the fact that this was, I want to say, not even a month removed from Becky leaving WWE. Like, this was fresh off that. So they just lost Becky. Rhea is in the middle of what was going to be a career-defining, record-setting reign, we believe. It didn't seem like that was going to end anytime soon. Right. Boom! She's injured, has to go. So now Liv has to step in this role of women's champion, of kind of the centerpiece of the women's division, all while taking Rhea's spot in many different ways, as they're setting up the Judgment Day turn and all that. Like, not anyone could just do that, and she did it so seamless. The Liv Revenge tour worked beautifully, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It came, it went right into I'm champion, cry about it now. And I love Daddy Dom Dom, and I want to take everything from Rhea. It was just so, and then even when Rhea finally gets it back, Liv doesn't lose a step. Her and Raquel set their sights on the tag titles. She has, of course, a good Royal Rumble performance. She's in the chamber. She still seems like she's on top of the world. She's got her man. She's got her backup. She's got a title now. Like, and also we're obviously raving on Liv right now. Naomi is a fucking monster.
Yes.
Naomi is a beast. Naomi is like one of the shining stars of every big match she's been getting since she came back to WWE.
100%.
Like me and you use these words very often, but Naomi doesn't really have bad matches. She doesn't. No. And it's funny, when I was watching this match and just freaking out over it because those near falls towards the end were just getting me. I was like, oh my God, this match is insane. It reminded me of a quote from her during Total Divas, which is just a lot more appropriate now. They were showing a recap of, I think it was like a battle royal that they kind of threw all the women into at like pre-show of WrestleMania. And, Total Divas gave it a real nice montage. It looked like they had like a banger and the crowd went crazy and it was a big spot for them. And Naomi says, "We some bad girls." And, it was nice to hear. And Naomi's just always such a pillar of the women's division, positivity and just leadership, even when she was still young, but like, or new, I should say. But like now that quote was just shining in my ears. Like, we some bad girls, because they did it and they did it well.
Oh yeah. This match was killer. What a great way to end this show. Like, it was just such a good match. It was great.
And also,
go ahead.
I feel like it would normally be easy to hate on the fact that a male superstar was very much involved in the finish here. But honestly, it's the magic and the beauty of the Dirty Dom character. 100%. Like, no, this is exactly how this needed to end.
And it gives Dom more heat. We love to hate him, and it just gives him more heat. He just knows what he's doing.
Especially since it really seems like maybe a little bit towards the end of last year, it was really that one, I forget who he was working, but when Dirty Dom was facing somebody and there was actually like Dom chants. Like that one time he got chants, I think it was like the end of last year, beginning of this year. And then with all the young kids that are somehow fans of Dirty Dom, which honestly, if you're a fucking parent, how do you condone this? You're going to let your kid's idol be someone who's calling his father a deadbeat? What do you think they're going to call you?
Yeah.
I have some self-respect.
Yeah, you need someone that respects and loves their mama, like Shelton Benjamin.
Please.
Yeah.
Please, Shelton Benjamin. But like, it does kind of seem like Dom has to play a little bit of defense in terms of prolonging the face turn, which at this point seems inevitable,
right?
Because he's reaching the stage where he's been respected as a wrestler, as a performer for so long now. We know a bit about the actual person behind the character, at least a little bit, the fact that he's not even going to hide it. Like the fact that his character loves chicken tenders, because that's how much his love of chicken tendies lies. I'm convinced that's, by the way, what makes the kids love Dirty Dom. He likes tendies. This is what I eat.
Because he's probably a child. You go to a steakhouse and he's like, I just want chicken tenders.
He's literally said that before. He's like, I get chicken tendies everywhere.
How embarrassing.
You would judge him. You know, my mom, when she was a kid, when they would take her to a Chinese restaurant, she didn't like anything there, so they would have to go to like next door and get her a hot dog. My mom was a very picky eater.
Yeah, but like Dom shouldn't be allowed at nice restaurants if he's just gonna get chicken tendies.
Also, when the fuck did chicken tenders get retired? Where does this tendies bullshit?
It's like chicken nuggies. It's like when
I fucking hate chicken nuggies. I am only okay seeing the caption chicken nuggies if it is referring to a dog.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'd say Olivia gets chicken nuggies.
No. The dogs can get the chicken nuggies. They can get the pup cups. That's fine.
Well, yeah, Olivia gets chicken nuggies.
When we're talking about fucking humans wanting chicken nuggies, it's like, would you grow your ass up?
But I love chicken nuggies.
No.
Dirty Dom should be on Chicken Shop Date. I'm convinced. I'm gonna tweet at Amelia Donenberg and say, hey, Dirty Dom should be on your show because he loves chicken tendies.
He should.
Yeah, he should be. She interviews them and they're on a date. She goes on a date with them and they eat chicken nuggets.
I don't know if Dom needs to be going on any more dates. He's got a wife at home, a girlfriend on TV.
That's why it's perfect.
He's already tweeting out that you need to stop sending chicken tendies to his house.
Why would you ever want someone to stop sending you chicken to your house?
I don't think it was him. It was somebody who recently said, I don't know why I need to constantly say this, but getting fan mail. I think it might have been Rhea, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think she was like, listen, do not send gifts or fan mail to our home, and it's a violation of privacy.
Yeah, I think that was her.
Yeah.
It's the P.O. box.
Or I think you can just send stuff to the Performance Center, and I'm almost positive they give it to them.
They do. I wrote stuff to the NFL, like their headquarters.
Yeah. I feel like, my memory's awful, but I feel like when me and you sent the best ref in the biz, D.A. Brewer, his zebra set of Zubas, we sent it to the Performance Center, right?
I thought we just handed them to him.
Oh, fuck. You're 100% right. We did.
I'm
did hand them to him.
I was like, weren't we in the Brooklyn Barclays Center?
Right.
And just handed them to
That's 100% how that happened. All right. Well, then.
You're so silly.
Well, maybe we should just set up a brand new pair of Zubas to the Performance Center just to find out if it gets there.
But then we have to send it to Huntley because we can't just send it to him.
Okay, you're right. We got to send something nice for Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley's the best.
Maybe send Shane Helm something too.
Oh, I said, who's Shane Helms? I'm like, oh yeah. Is he at the Performance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's at the Performance Center as much as them, but I feel like at the very least they'd be able to. I feel like you could send Performance Center stuff for any WWE, wrestler, producer.
Are you gonna dress like the Hurricane for New Orleans?
Of course, have to. Absolutely.
Does that mean I have to dress like
No, you
Molly?
should dress like somebody, but I feel like because you've done multiple cosplays, I've really just fell in love with the Hurricane cosplay. I was like, this is it. This is me.
So now that I'm an old lady, I don't feel like making costumes anymore.
Right.
So I might just do my Shawn Michaels one because it's comfortable. People know who I am. It's
you can't plan it a year in advance. You gotta feel the waters as we approach.
Of course, I do it a year in advance.
No, but it's like you gotta feel the waters. Like when you did Lana was so on point for that time. You need something on point for the time.
That sucks too because I can never do that costume ever again.
Right, exactly.
Like ever.
That was such a good one. And Tyler Breeze, you can't do that one again either, and that was beautiful.
And he was on NXT at that time. Charlotte was good too. Charlotte broke
Yeah, Charlotte was money.
Yeah, I was gonna do Dolph Ziggler. Remember, I was gonna do Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho. That's such a missed opportunity just for that hair alone.
Just for the hair, I know. I might just do Shawn Michaels this year because I'm booking Vegas so late in the game.
Right.
I don't have time to make. Usually, I start in December. I start making my costume. So
also, you don't have to
Right.
You don't have to go crazy with it. Where like there are certain people, a T-shirt would be the cosplay. Maybe their ring pants.
It's very funny you say that because I always think of SummerSlam when I dressed like $1 Million Man. Our friend Andrew dressed like Roddy Piper, and Deb didn't dress like anybody. She literally just wore a Paige shirt, and a girl.
And everyone thought she was Paige.
I know you're dressed like Paige. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm just wearing a Paige t-shirt.
No, like, this is just me.
Gab's dressed like Paige, I think, once. And then I think she did Bailey.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, for New Orleans.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was fun. This match is so big because it changes a lot going into the chamber now.
Right.
It changes a lot. But so let's get into our predictions. Let's see who me and you think will emerge victorious. Let's first talk about quite the dream team. We've got Tiffy and Trishy taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
I don't like Trishy.
Listen, I didn't come up with this. That's what the t-shirt says. Tiffy time and Trishy time.
Tiffy time and Trishy time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Am I starting this? Is that what you're gonna do? You gonna play that game? By just disappearing? Fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I obviously think Tiffy and Trishy are going to win this one. Because it will be in Canada, Trish Stratus' hometown. They're going to give her that hometown Hall of Fame reaction. Also, Tiffany Stratton is not going to be facing Nia Jax or Candice LeRae at WrestleMania. She'll be facing Charlotte. So you got to keep her strong. Give her a nice big victory here. So I'm going with Tiffy and Trishy. Possibly a post-match beatdown for both of them from Charlotte Flair.
I'm going Trishy and Tiffy as well because she's hometown. She's a legend, Hall of Famer. Like, it gotta go. What?
Is this an echo? Did I hear an echo?
Next time you say exactly what I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna say ditto.
But see, no, because I feel like anytime I ask you to go first, you're like, why do I have to go first? This is why, because I don't want to steal your thoughts.
To be fair, my laptop was about to die and I had to go get the charger while you were talking.
No,
That's why I got up. I was like, oh no.
That makes sense. That does track.
That's why I disappeared. I didn't disappear in revolt. I wasn't like,
I was like, oh, what? Fine.
Danielle, who you gonna just get up and walk?
I object.
Yeah.
The next match is apparently not a match at all. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned grudge match. For the records, slight beef. I hate when they're like, because they were explaining what it is. They're like, the referee is only there to count the three. An unsanctioned match should not have a WWE official being paid to work it. That makes no sense. You're literally providing an official for it. What does unsanctioned mean? An unsanctioned match should not be a match. There shouldn't even be a 3 count. It should be a street fight. It should be a Canadian street fight. Let them travel the arena, go to the parking lot, even go to a bar and crack beer bottles over each other's head. It should be a fight, and they fight until they can't fight no more. It's over when it's over.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to make a book called Heel Mark Definitions. Title pending.
Do's and don'ts.
Title's pending. And we're going to put unsanctioned match. And we're going to put the definition and be like, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. What's the other match that we were talking about the other day? We're like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, lucha rules. And we were like, well, you got to be specific on lucha rules.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? You have to dive every 2 moves? Like, I didn't understand what the fuck was happening.
We're going to make a book. We're going to make a book.
You need to win with a move off the top rope? That was not made clear.
Right. Doesn't make sense.
And then those stupid, like, bull rope matches where some of them, it just means that the bull rope, it ties you two together. Sometimes you have to hit all 4 corners, which is one of my, like, least favorite stipulations of all time. I hate that stupid shit.
And then we're going to put strap match. Just don't do it.
Yes. That should they really shouldn't need us to make that clear, but we'll happily do it if it means that strap matches are not used anymore.
It's such a stupid match.
So dumb. Anyway, Danielle, why don't you kick this one off? Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
I think Kevin Owens is winning.
Okay.
It's all because I'm biased. I have no real explanation on why I think this. I'm just being extremely biased. I do think this is going to set up for possibly another match. Maybe this will lead to Sammy turning heel. That he has to be broken in order to come back and become a heel and, have him finally snap. So, look, I did make a good reason. So yeah, I think it's Kevin Owens.
I do agree with you.
You do?
But it is tough one though, only because here's what I see. I thought Kevin Owens might face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. With that not happening,
right,
and them putting it here, then I'm like thinking why, and I'm like, oh right, Randy Orton's been out ever since Kevin Owens took him out. Randy Orton's gonna come back for WrestleMania and face Kevin Owens. Okay, but I'm like that could happen one of two ways. Randy Orton could come back and cost Kevin Owens this match. And once again, it's not a match. It's an unsanctioned fight. So who knows where it is? Maybe Randy Orton just surprises Kevin Owens backstage, hits him with a cinder block or some crazy shit, hits him with a pile driver, whatever. Could do that. Randy Orton could cost Kevin Owens the match, or Kevin Owens could beat Sami Zayn in such a savage, vicious, violent way that is almost what really brings Randy Orton back. Randy Orton takes Kevin Owens, and then Karrion Kross, who has been preaching to Sami Zayn from afar, essentially creating his own feud with Sami Zayn and keeping it alive for a while now. Speaking on some real shit for Sami, it almost feels like then Karrion Kross would have more to talk about with a Sami Zayn loss. Why do you think no one helped you, Sami? Why do you think Kevin was able to beat you, Sami? Why do you think? Because you had it coming, Sami. So Karrion Kross can go on that tangent. Kevin Owens will go with Randy Orton. So yeah, I do think Kevin Owens is going to beat Sami Zayn in what'll probably be a pretty violent, bloody fashion.
And then they kiss.
I doubt it. Not for a while. Not for a while.
He's going to kiss his bloody face.
No.
Kiss.
No.
Kissies.
No kisses.
Butterfly kisses?
No butterfly kisses. No Eskimo kisses either. Don't ask. Elimination Chamber men's edition. Let's get into CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus Logan Paul versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins. Now, it would be fun? Let's try to come up with this together by doing eliminations. Who do you think we can eliminate?
First?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Drew McIntyre.
You eliminate Drew first? Interesting.
I don't. They're going to eliminate him.
Okay. Oh, no. I don't actually mean the series of people are going to get it. I mean in terms of us doing the process of elimination, in terms of who's not going to win. Right?
Oh, my bad.
Granted, you suggesting Drew does still apply, because obviously if you think he's getting eliminated first, you definitely think he's not winning. But I meant more in us, like let's look at who can win, who can't. Let's start eliminating people.
All right. Well, Drew McIntyre.
All right. So,
hey, I'm right on par with like who you always predict to win, Drew McIntyre.
Okay. I mean, interesting elimination. I do think you are correct in that I don't think he'll win. I wish he was a more believable challenger for Cody, especially because with The Rock, entering the equation and the whole Cody's soul up for grabs, Drew McIntyre and the voice of true reason he actually has been this past year would just be such a perfect foil. Just a beautiful ingredient to pour on top of that. But okay, I don't really see him winning this, so we can eliminate him. We'll obviously, unfortunately, have to eliminate Damian Priest. I don't think he has enough gusto at this juncture to get the spot.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, now my turn?
Yeah.
I think Seth Rollins is not going to win.
Okay. Yeah, Seth Rollins would be a great challenger for Cody's once again, because he's the one who stepped up first to be the angel on Cody's shoulder. But yeah, Seth Rollins does seem like a tough sell right now. It'd be a fun one though. Logan Paul's not going to win.
I do predict that Logan Paul's going to be the last three.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to, I think it's going to piss people. They're doing it to piss people off that they're like, fuck, are they going to give him like kind of like they did with Rumble? I think it's going to go the same way.
Here's the funny thing about Logan Paul. We were talking earlier, Logan Paul, CM Punk, could that be WrestleMania? And right now we've kind of eliminated everyone, predictably. We've eliminated everyone but CM Punk and John Cena. Mm-hmm. So I think whichever one doesn't win, that person's going to face Logan Paul.
Yes.
Like, if John Cena doesn't win this, I think Cena's match is Logan Paul. And if Punk doesn't win this, I think Punk's match is Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fucking kid got himself in that position where I'm literally pegging him to face one of the two biggest names in WWE history.
The names that everyone thought was going to win the Royal Rumble.
The names that are honestly dream matches for damn near anyone on the roster to face at WrestleMania.
Logan Paul is going to win, and then CM Punk and John Cena are going to face each other.
Yeah, right. That'd be crazy.
Imagine.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, this is the tough one now. John Cena or CM Punk? Who do you give it to?
John Cena.
I don't know, man.
I know. But
like,
I think it's either going to be John Cena or CM Punk.
Like, I want it to be Cena. It's just the fact that Cena hasn't been seen since. So it's like, does he really just walk in and punch the ticket? And it's like, without The Rock's involvement, I'm probably leaning towards Cena. Because then it would be just Cena comes in, punches the ticket, Cena, Cody. The Rock
really
almost for some reason, like, don't get me wrong, like, whoever wins this, I think, is the one who kind of does end up selling their soul to The Rock, right? But CM Punk and John Cena are both perfect candidates for that.
Because I was gonna say, with John Cena's like, with The Rock involved, it makes me think more that it's gonna be John Cena.
Yeah, and so here's the main thing that's keeping me from just going straight to Punk. The thing that does kind of keep me possibly going Cena here. On Raw, 2 times, I heard people use the phrase best for business, which is not an expression that's been commonly used in WWE TV for years. I heard it in a Logan Paul promo, and then I heard it in the recap they showed of Cena's press conference where he announced his Elimination Chamber, him saying, I think I should be in the main event of WrestleMania because it's best for business. So I think I should be the world champion again because it's best for business. And I don't even remember him saying that from the press conference, but they showed it to us on Raw. And it's like, what are the odds this is a coincidence? What are the odds? You know what I mean? And so, like, all of a sudden, the best for business catchphrase is coming back around the time that we're getting a corporate champion, or at least the idea of one. So that's why I'm kind of thinking Cena. But it's like, I don't know, with Punk and the favor he still has from Heyman, it almost feels like that would be more of a play. Would Punk's favor from Heyman really come into play if he was facing Logan Paul? I doubt it.
Right.
I mean, sure, the Heyman favor could come into play after Mania, after whoever our corporate champion is, or if Cody has slayed a beast, maybe Punk then somehow gets his way. I don't know, but I'm gonna go CM Punk for this one.
Okay.
I feel like I might regret it because the Cena saga does seem like.
Don't regret it. It's a confident choice. It's a good choice. It's a choice that if John Cena doesn't win, CM Punk is taking it. It's a good choice. You stick by your choice.
I appreciate you and your positive reinforcement. No, it is. You just want to lure me into the wrong section. I get it.
I'm winning predictions currently of 2025, but I think it is a very good. No, I do think it's a good pick. Like, my toss-up was between CM Punk and John Cena.
Right.
I still think Charlotte should have challenged Cody, beat Cody.
Yes, 100%. Right.
And then John Cena beat Charlotte. I've mentioned that to so many people, and everybody's like, I'm okay with this. I'm like, I know.
Because or AJ Styles should be in the chamber. AJ Styles wins this, and then him and Charlotte just say, you know what, screw it. We're facing each other. We're creating our own title. It's
that's my dream. That's my dream match.
Charlotte and AJ. I think that's their dream match too.
That's my dream match. Like it used to be Tessa Blanchard, but now
God.
I mean, it was.
Speaking of dream matches, let's get into this one. I wanted to save this for last on purpose because I don't know which way this one's going. This one's harder to pick than I thought it would be.
And they face Rhea. Yes.
Yeah, it's just, technically, we don't know who they face because Rhea Ripley will be defending her championship against Io Sky next week. And that match kind of, like, Yes, it's easy to just assume Rhea will get past EO and that'll be that. They'll probably just end the match with a stare down between the Elimination Chamber winner and Rhea Ripley and just take us there. Probably. But then it's kind of like, well, then why do it? Is EO going to get a spot on WrestleMania? Why would you include her in this if not? So, like, not that I think EO's actually going to win, but I think there's a chance, depending on who wins this match, that maybe that person could somehow interfere in that match and cause it to be a triple threat at Mania. And EO Sky stays involved in the title picture, EO versus Rhea versus the winner.
Right. So
depending on who wins.
So I'm looking at these people. I'm really focusing.
Yeah.
My gut tells me to pick Roxanne Perez.
Funny.
It does. It does. Oh, are we doing it the other way where we're eliminating people?
Well, I mean, let's just have a free-flowing conversation, because the truth is, if we were going to do it, I would probably eliminate Roxanne first.
Bailey.
And you're going for going for a gut. So let's talk about the the odds.
I mean, when it comes down to it, not Roxanne, but Roxanne for some reason is sticking out to me.
Well, listen, they've done a great job of showcasing Roxanne in terms of Royal Rumble. Big standout performance. Right. Nice win over Raquel to get the Elimination Chamber.
So to me immediately, if I'm not really thinking, but I'm looking at this list immediately, Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan. That's who I think is going to win, right? But then I'm like, but Liv just had a thing with Rhea. So it's
funny you say that. It's funny you say that, because Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan were actually the two people I was really talking about in terms of, if they win, if one of them wins, that's where I kind of see EO and Rhea ending in a clubberfuck, and that's how we get a triple threat. Either Liv Morgan just decides to say, fuck both these women, interferes and just stands tall because she's Liv and she does what she wants, and then now you got to face them both, because Liv and EO kind of have an unfinished thing as well. Damage Control and Liv and Raquel kind of do as well.
Right.
So there's that. And then Alexa Bliss, I feel like she'd win, and then spooky shit would just happen. Lights would turn off. Who knows? Maybe the entire Wyatt Six kind of just appear and scare them both, something like that. And then we get to that. So yeah, like, I also think the chance Liv Morgan becoming tag team champion kind of throws a bit of a wrench there.
That's it's why like, I said immediately, like, those are the two that would pop in my head first.
And it's like the women's division and those tag titles have been getting a lot of push, a lot of TV time. This match was so good, it would almost feel like a shame if the titles just didn't get defended at Mania because they decided to put one of the champions in the championship match.
Right.
And as you did mention, Liv Morgan, while I suppose her and Rhea Ripley, like, yeah, they're tied to each other the closest, but they kind of did that storyline to the ground. It almost feels like, like they finished that. There's a pin on it already.
That was a big reason why I said, if I look at this quickly, I'm like, Liv and Alexa. And I'm like, there's a lot of components with Liv. Like, they already finished that story. They already did this. Why are we?
Roxanne would be fun, but I don't really think that, like, on the main roster or especially on NXT, as on her way out, she's been losing a lot. I don't think she comes across believable for Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's like untouchable, you know?
So my two, I still got to think Alexa Bliss. And because they just dropped the tag titles, I feel like Naomi.
See, I want to go with Naomi.
I want to go.
Unfortunately, my biggest thing right here is that, like, when they drop the tag titles, it's kind of like, why? And I can't get around the thought that they just want to give us the wet dream match that every wrestling fan's been wanting for years at WrestleMania, which is Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. Like this match has been you know what I mean? That match is, and especially me and you've been going back and forth where you're kind of like, oh, this WrestleMania card's not shaping up. Bro, you throw that match on the WrestleMania card, boom,
that's a
just
match.
Like that, you've got a
I didn't
big
think
one.
About that.
Granted, but the biggest thing keeping me from just sleeping in that bed is the Jade of it all. They just showed that package before this tag title match where Bianca's gushing over having a friend and a sister that has her back. Jade's resting up, which is why she's not texting us back. You can't tell me why somebody is not texting you. You don't know why they're not texting you. You cannot speak for them. I've been injured before. that doesn't mean that I can't text someone back. If anything, I've got nothing but time.
Right.
So, like that makes me think, and it's like we're getting closer to Jade coming back. And I believe this past Monday was the first time that Liv and Raquel had actually finally said, no, we didn't do it. Before they kind of just said, I don't know what you're talking about, but if we did do it, would we feel bad? No.
Right.
Now they're kind of like, yeah, listen, we had nothing to do with it. We just don't care. So I can't get, and it's like if Jade comes back and outs Naomi as her attacker, which a lot of people are kind of pegging it for, Bianca seems like that would be so much turmoil for her, right? Her sisters are fighting. Her sister just turned on her other sister. She attacked her. What are you going to do? For her to just say, peace out, guys. I've got my WrestleMania plans. You guys handle this on your own. That seems off-putting also. So it's like both Bianca and Naomi are kind of dealing with something here that makes it hard for me to go with them, which kind of made me think, shit, maybe it is Alexa.
Yeah.
What I do think might happen is that Jade comes back, but doesn't actually know any more than we do. Like, I think a lot of people assume, oh, Jade must know who attacked her. Jade knows it was one of them. That's why she isn't responding. But if Jade knows only what we know, too, Jade could come back out for revenge on Liv and Raquel. Yeah. Bianca could win this match.
Everybody's a suspect.
Well, no, check it. So Jade will come back and just trust her sisters, right? Her sisters are saying it was Raquel and Liv. We knew it was them. The camera showed it to them. So she's back to defend them. Bianca wins this match. Bianca plugs her ticket. So now Jade and Naomi are like, yo, we'll team up. We'll get those titles back. And yeah, I got to get my lick back because they injured me. And then, that's what happened. So that's how Jade and Naomi are able to gracefully go for the tag team titles without it being weird that Bianca's not. And then maybe at WrestleMania or after WrestleMania is when we reveal, oh shit, it was Naomi that took Jade out the whole time. Right. And then we get heel Naomi going crazy.
Oh, man.
And also, if we do go Bianca and Raquel, it kind of feels like that would take us to a Bianca heel turn along the way. Right. Bianca's kind of been hinting heel ways for a while.
I think Bianca needs to be a heel, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a long enough time. I
don't think she translates on the mic well as a face. Like her walking down the ring, doing all that stuff, but mic work, I don't think it translates very well for her as a face.
I think Bianca connects with the fans as a babyface, especially the young fans.
Yes, definitely.
Especially the female fans. So I feel like that's a character that you would hesitate to turn heel.
Yeah.
Because of the inspiration. Yeah.
Bayley for a long time. I never thought Bayley was going to go heel. Ever.
Right? Because Bayley was presented as one of us. She was the ultimate fan turned superstar.
Sammy
Who could have thought it?
Right. Sammy for a while, I thought they were never going to. It's funny. Sammy, Johnny Gargano, and Bayley were the three that I was like,
they're amazing heels.
And they're amazing.
Amazing heels.
So good as heels.
Yeah.
So good.
All right. So final guesses. Who do you have on this one?
I'm going to go Alexa Bliss.
I hope you're fucking right. I really do.
Me too.
I want that for her so bad.
I think Rhea's like gothy, like her look and her whole aura will complement Alexa Bliss's crazy. Like I think that whole their gimmicks will complement each other so well leading up to WrestleMania.
Like if we're looking at people who can realistically win the Elimination Chamber and boom, step into the role of true threat to Rhea Ripley's championship, it's either Bianca, because of simply that's just the comparison. Right. They've always been the Alpha 2. Or Alexa with the Twisted Bliss, the dark features, possibly the Wyatt 6 affiliation. So all the extra factors Alexa Bliss brings, the supernatural elements that we love as fans of Taker, as fans of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Those are the things that would allow that program and that match to be very exciting. So I want to believe that they're ready to just strap the rocket, give Alexa Bliss the big win, and get her back in. Bianca could 100% be Jade's attacker. I mean, they want us to believe it couldn't be because she was in the ring when they showed it to us. And by the way, for the audio listeners, Chris Chimera just popped in with a nice little comment in the fan section. So that's what I am addressing.
Right.
But yeah, and I also feel like if Naomi was Jade's attacker, Bianca knew about it. And I feel like, so they might reveal it separately, where they reveal that Naomi was Jade's attacker, but then when Jade's like, yo, Bianca, let's get her, and then Bianca's like, nah, sis, I ordered it.
Right.
Like, because the whole, like, it does kind of feel very fugazi in terms of there's no way Bianca didn't know nothing.
Right.
And like, they're just so united as a front of just like, I'm glad my sister got my back when I needed it.
Like, you think I wouldn't know who your attacker was if somebody attacked you? Of course I would know.
You would know.
They would be gone already.
You would have taken care of them. They'd be slipping with the fishes.
Oh my God, I just said that. They'd be sleeping with the fishes. Blub, blub. Who are you picking?
I'm going with Bianca. I think it will exactly the situation that I predicted, which normally, you know, these situations, I sell it to myself and then it never actually goes that way.
But the selling of the match that we've been looking for, the Rhea versus Bianca, I forgot about that. And that's a good one where if she wins, I won't be mad.
The only thing that makes me hesitant is that I do truly believe that match, these two, shouldn't just be Rhea's champ, Bianca wins, number one contender, so now they go. Yeah. There should be a story. There should be a true build. 100%. And just having them say, listen, sis, let's see who's better. I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. Like, you know, like I almost feel like that would be underwhelming for a match that we're all going to immediately overblow in our heads. Like oh my God, this is it. This is the match of the night. This is the 5-star classic. This is the main event. But it's like also, but we're giving them 35 days to get, you know what I mean? So like that would feel just a little awkward where it's like, I almost feel like there should be a bigger build. At the very least, we would have wanted to see these two cross paths in backstage, just here and there, you know, maybe Bianca could have teased Rhea, I'm coming for you, going into the Rumble or something like that. Right. Maybe Bianca could tease Rhea going into the Chamber. You know, I'm gonna see, like they haven't done it. So that's what makes me think that like I'm just completely off base and they are going to go with Twisted Bliss on this one, which I'd be 100% a fan of.
I'm okay with your pick and I'm okay with my pick. I'm for them. Like these are okay matches for me. Like Alexa Bliss coming back and already winning the Chamber and then going to WrestleMania. I'm here for it. People love her. She's so over. And I wonder how that will affect with the crowd since Rhea's so over too. It's gonna be yeahs, not boo-boos. Like boo yeah. Like it's gonna be everybody's gonna be excited.
Let's go, mommy. We love Bliss.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be. I mean, like this is the match I'm looking forward to from the Elimination Chamber review. Like this match, like a part of it is the credit to the amazing match that the women put on in the Raw main event. The fact that's so fresh in my mind when I think of the women's division. I think of them killing the main event in a big time title match, and I'm thinking of the fact that 3 of those women are in this match.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited. So we'll just have to find out Saturday.
The one last thing that we are looking forward to talk about, Danielle, it's coming. It's on the way. They can't fight it. Austin Theory's face turn is approaching fast and furious. That Raw segment where Jey Uso made him yeet cracked me up.
Of course it cracked you up. It's like a high person's like dream scenario watching TV.
How dare you?
How dare
Austin
you
Theory
be
has
so
got
accurate.
The comic timing of a young Will Ferrell.
Okay. You know how I feel about Will Ferrell.
He's got the comic timing of a slightly older Topher Grace.
Oh my God, please stop.
He's got the comic timing of a much younger
comedic timing, not comic timing. Oh my God, I just watched Entourage and Bob Saget's on it. It's so funny.
Bob Saget's great.
He's so great on it. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You can't hold it back. The face turn has to come because it's on the way, because he's just doing all this stuff to get people to laugh and be happy, and Grayson Waller is being a little chump.
I mean, it's one of those things where like similar to like The Miz, and we've talked about other people where the respect factor happens. The fans have now been introduced to Austin Theory since the COVID era.
Right.
And like they have attached themselves to him as somebody who, like, I think as a wrestling fan, they connect with the Money in the Bank losers, right?
Yeah.
Like Baron Corbin, a part of his respect came from that. Austin Theory, same thing. They recognize that, you know what, this guy kind of got a bad hand. Vince was shoving him down our throats when we maybe weren't ready for it, and he maybe wasn't ready for it. Now he has been, and Triple H is kind of just throwing him here, there, a little everywhere. Grayson Waller and him, great tag team, but that split is coming. And like we see even like fan videos of Austin Theory trying to sign an autograph. Grayson Waller pulls him away. Austin Theory waits for Grayson to turn his head, comes back. Yeah, guys, A-Town down. Let's take pictures.
Yeah.
Like Austin Theory as a fan favorite. And you remember his full extensive babyface moveset from Evolve. Like,
Oh, of course. 100%. Super
like
baby.
that's something special. So yeah, I'm very excited for a potential babyface Austin Theory. I think that's when we really get to press go on his career in WWE.
I would love to press go on Austin Theory.
And on that note,
And on that note, thank you so much for tuning in. If you don't already, follow us on all social media platforms at The Heel Marks. Listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us a 5-star rating so we can creep up the charts. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, guys, we're not just smart marks, we're heel marks.